Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, Stephen Kiharu MP, my friend, Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, and when we say we are friends, we are real friends. We have come from very far. He was from Kiandutu sometime, and so I come from ghettos of Kiandutu. So when we say we are friends, we are real friends. Permanent Secretary for Mining, Elijah Mwangi, and the person who made me to be here today, he insisted until he saw that I was here. The MCA, Wakangata, County Directors of Education, Regional Directors of Education, our school principal, Mrs. Naomi Njehia, members of the Board of Management of this school, sponsors of the school represented by Vicar General and members of clergy, our civil servant, our DCC, and all the civil servants that are here, teachers and non-teaching staff, parents, guardians, and my dear daughters, good afternoon. Thank you very much for this day that we stand here, and I look at the parents and I know that they are proud of our girls. From the time I entered there, I looked at the girls and you are looking very beautiful. Very confident, very clean, very neat, and I can tell excellence lives here. You can clap. It is indeed a great honor to join you during this occasion when you are celebrating excellence in this renowned school, an academic giant in the county and in the country. I love you dearly because this is also my home. You just need to cross a few ridges and you reach where I was born at Donyo Shege. So I am very proud of my school. I celebrate the outstanding performance of the girls in the national examination last year. The starring performance is a testament of the hard work and commitment by the teaching and non-teaching staff, parents, the guardians, and our dear daughters. Today also is a special moment for the student fraternity when they are about to embark on their August holiday and reconnect with their families and community back home. Dear students, make sure that this August holiday counts as minutes count. Engage in productive activities that will be a blessing to your life. Remember, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And Psalms 11:10 says that bad company corrupts. That is Psalm 111. And then 1 Corinthians 15:33 says, and bad company corrupts good morals. So as you go, remember you are here to excel. Focus on your studies as you are out there helping your parents. And at the same time, make sure you keep the right company. Because you could go there and you'll be statistics of the teenage pregnant girls. And I want you to come back here safe and sound. Students, ladies and gentlemen, I also note the ongoing debate in our country about education system following the community education system following the proposals by the President Working Party on education reform. The proposal of integrating community service in our schools' education system is not only timely, but a great opportunity to ingrain values of giving back into our children at a tender age. In line with my office vision, a dignified future for vulnerable populations, community service calls on everyone to give back their time and resources to the less fortunate and the vulnerable without expecting anything back or in return. The secret of power, influence, impact, and satisfaction of every human being and contentment is hidden in three things. That is love, sacrifice, and service. Community service is noble and it will cement the moral fabric of our nation as people unite selflessly for the betterment of our environment and communities. And I have heard you say that truth and minutes and all of us, that is how a country ought to be run. That we must take care to make sure that every minute that God has given us, we are working towards betterment of our lives. I was a student at the Alliance Girls and was not from a privileged family. However, the culture of the school was all inclusive, as Kahuhia is. And it encouraged a harmonious life for all of us focused in education. The key to open impossible possibilities. And now, see what God has done. I am standing here having come from the ghettos of Kiandutu, my husband having come from slopes of Madeira in Kiamariga. You can even hear those names. Don't know Kiamariga, Kiandutu. And then the president comes from somewhere, Sigoi. Yeah? A chicken seller, ghetto dwellers, and people from unknown backgrounds are now in the helm of leadership of this country. Your own Muheshimiwa here also comes from, he is a Kiandutu citizen, but with a development agenda that has affected this area. So there is no limitation. Your background does not matter. Your parents are a vehicle that God used to bring you here. What you carry, the objective, your faith, your focus, your determination will give you a future. If you can clap, I don't know why you are clapping. Like I have told you, it is you who is going to determine what you become. Your background does not matter. You may have come from a very obscure background. Your parents may not even have school fees. I didn't have school fees. I remember, and I tell people, I always tell people testimonies. And I told people, because I had some of the media, they say when people become, they get status, they want to say they come from backgrounds that are not true. I want them to go to Kiandutu, go to Mogumoine Primary School. You find I was there in 1979. I was in Alliance up to 84. I was in St. Francis up to 86. From there, I went to Kenyatta University. Records are there. If you go to Donyoshege, you find people who are existing, where I was born. And they will tell you I was a maid when I was 7 years. So that is not anything that we can hide. So I can tell you that it is your education, and you must focus and make sure that you are only having one option to succeed. And the next option to succeed. The third option to succeed. And every option to do what? Ladies and gentlemen, the recognition of prior learning in the proposals is also a fundamental. It's also fundamental for our African culture and way of life. Parents pass on critical skills to their children that are foundational to their success in business, entrepreneurship, and farming. Prior learning enhances succession management and encourages continuity and innovation. We are speaking to the government, and this we are encouraging, because we know there are those people who may not have the opportunity like you have, but they had fathers who were able, who had skills in mechanic, and they taught them mechanic, and they have been very good mechanic for years. And so we are saying this must be recognized, because there is also informal learning, not in school, but people are educated even out there. And so government is looking into ways of giving accreditation to these people so that they too can get certificate and start learning. So your brothers who are out there who may not have had the opportunity to be in school, and your sisters will now get certificates and you'll find them in employment. And this is one of the things that the government that is doing. And I like to speak about the government, because many people imagine that this government has not done anything, and we are talking of only 1 year. Give it 5 years and you will see a transformation in this country. In high school, you can make or break your life. I caution you to watch out against the habits that can cut short your great future. I urge you to exercise caution and stay away from destructive habits such as drugs and substance abuse. These habits might seem harmless at first, but they lead to harmful and dangerous consequences. We are all aware the negative effects that drugs and substance abuse have on our mental and physical well-being. The Bible says in Proverbs 20, verse 1, it states, "Wine is a mocker and a beer is a brawler. Whoever is led astray by them is not wise." So anyone who intends to go and engage in this drinking and all, all that drug spree, the Bible tells us you are foolish. And when I look at this, I see very wise girls. We are already working very hard to bring your counterparts, the young men who are in drugs and substance abuse. And as a mother, I would not want any one of you to be found in those streets and in those gutters where people are just taking drugs and becoming zombies. And I want to do that work so that my girls in the future, they can find husbands. They can find people who are fathers, leaders. Otherwise, I will be educating my girls and they have nobody to marry. I'll be educating girls who will marry people who have no honor for women, and the gender violence will continue. I'll be educating girls, and I'll be fearing that they will be out there, and there will be people who will apply on them, and we get teenage pregnancies, rapes, and all this. And I'm saying today, as I pray for them and work them out of drugs together with the government, because it is doing a great job, please keep off drugs, keep off alcohol, and concentrate on your education. You have your whole life ahead of you to accomplish great things. And if you allow yourself to be led astray by drugs and substance abuse, you may not realize your full potential. The sting of drugs and substance abuse in our nation has seen me in many places where amongst the drug addicts in dens of Mombasa, where I went to Miritini, I went and found people who are in drugs, serious cocaine, serious drugs, that when you see them, they just stand and even sleep when they are standing. And I can tell you, it is not a place you want to go. And therefore, I'm calling even the parents to take care of your children. I am very happy that you came and you'll be going home with your children. Today, there is a bash that is taking place in Nyeri somewhere. And I know it was meant for these young students. But we are saying, as a government, and we are looking out so that those bashes will not be attended by people under 18. They will not drink. If we find them there, then we would have to put those people behind bars. Because we cannot be working to make sure that we are having a drug-free community, and other people are working to make sure whatever gains we are making, they are being cancelled by all this. So in conclusion, I wish to encourage all schools in Kenya that as we recognize academic excellence, let us grow an all-round and global citizens. Let us fund all the talents and gifts lying latent in our children, in academics, in sports, and in creative arts. I have already seen creativity right here, and I was asking the one who made the circuit, I think I'll be contacting you, Mwalim. You can make one for my house. It is true. We must grow our talents, and we must recognize the talent of our children. Some of these things you buy from abroad, and that talent, maybe it is not as great as this. And I'm talking now to the TSC. You have grown this talent. Now learn how to sell it. Because if that circuit and whatever it is, the alarm system that I saw out there, can be bought by all these parents, how much would this school be making? A lot of money. Let's try to identify opportunities and take advantage. And you will see sometimes the students who cannot be able to pay school fees could be paid for by developing just that one. That is how other countries develop. Students, as you live, listen to your parents, your guardians, and teachers and mentors, and try and identify a clear career path for your life. You have just been told by Mheshimiwa Ndindi Nyoro that you cannot walk aimlessly, no nothing. You are just here working to pass, and then you don't know you are passing to go where. But I can see we have girls who have direction. I've just witnessed Her Excellency on this other side, and I'm sure many of you can also be excellencies everywhere. I also encourage the young generation to embrace farming. The average age of the Kenya farmer is 67 years now. Our Mheshimiwa Ndindi Nyoro, you may be planning, and you have 100% food security deficit because in 20 years, you will have no farmer at all. And therefore, I am working around the clock and having a program I'm calling Youth and Farming, so that we can be able to have that succession management where our parents are leaving behind and making sure that even our children will be interested in farming. I am a farmer myself, and I think I make a lot of money. And so we are going to encourage you that as you are doing all the other things, white-collar job, it is no longer paying. It is not even available. That is why we have so many unemployed. But if you can adhere to the call of our president to go to those digital hubs, to go to those vocational training, train for a skill that can be able to give you a job today. Don't be job choosers. Just become job creators. God bless you.